I didn't get y'all guys a very good intro coming into this video, but this video we're going to be fixing a foam marker tank for this is on our grain drill, but any really foam marker tank or any plastic tank in general. This is how you can repair them and fix them to quit leaking. Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Ruth Farms. It is Wednesday, November the something, I don't know if it's 13th or 14th, something around there. This afternoon, I went and paid for my chicken litter I got a week or two ago here. I'm going to go up here to the barn up here on the hill. We're going to get the 4250, and I'm going to get it hooked to the grain drill, which is out here at the other barn. I'm going to get hooked up to it and get it ready, pull it out here to the shop. I got to check the foam marker and all that. We're gonna get ready to start planting some wheat before long. We got some pretty decent chance of rain next week, so we're gonna try to get in the ground before this rain gets here. We up here at the combine shed, tractor shed. So first things first, I gotta move the 986 out. Then my 3020 is behind it. Gotta get it out of the way, and the 4250, of course, is in the very back. So gotta get all that moved out, then put everything back. Keep our grain drill down here in this shed. It's beside my house. It's kind of an awkward little shed. Eventually it's probably going to fall over. This whole barn is in very good shape, as y'all can see over there. I'm hoping one day, if I can get my grandpa to sell the land, I want to buy this piece right here, and it's pretty level down through there, and I'd like to build like maybe a 50 by 100, or I don't know exactly how big the land is back there. It drops off pretty quick, but build that, and then maybe build like 15-foot, 16-foot sheds off each side. Make it big enough where I could get a tractor trailer in and out and around it. That's probably a future thing, you guys. We'll see how the future goes. So we got the grain drill backed up here. It's in the shop. Literally the back tires are in the shop. Got to grease it. There's a grease fitting on every blade disc on the unit. There's some axle grease fittings, which most of those probably don't need to be touched because we didn't plant but 60, not even 60 acres, 40 acres with it since I greased it this summer. I'm going to change the foam marker tank out. I've got a bigger one up in the shed. I'm going to try to swap it out because this tank leaks. We've got a 25-gallon tank, which that'll help us out tremendously. As dry as it is right now, this is going to be a necessity. We can't do it without it right now. All right, you guys, we got this off. I took these 4 screws here to loosen up. This just comes off. I got my new tank out here. Not new, but new to this drill. This one leaks, so we're gonna take it off. I'm gonna try to patch it for my ATV sprayer. So we got our tank here. This is a 25-gallon tank. This actually came off the Wilmar. If it picks up in there, see those little knob looking things down here about where my finger's at? There's one over there. If you can tell, they're cracked. This is the problem I found with every one of these foam marker tanks. And the only way I found to fix them is to take and completely plastic weld over this nut. Do away with it completely. And that has worked for me for the most part on every one I've done. So before I get this thing up there, get it in the way, and it's a pain in the butt to work on, I'm going to go ahead and clean this surface up with a grinding wheel, like a flat wheel. And then I'm going to take and plastic weld over all 6 of these holes. And that should hopefully fix our issues of leaking for a while. We're gonna take some brake cleaner. This is brake cleaner. Spray them off good, and I'm gonna wipe them down. Alright, y'all, so this isn't actually a plastic welder. I think this is like it's a styrofoam cutter that I picked up somewhere. First off, it's a heat gun, and I get it hot. I go around this area that I'm gonna weld. I'm actually gonna put plastic, a big old place around this thing. So I will take and heat this up, and that gets that whole area good and warm and hot. Not to the point it's melting, because you don't want this to fall down. It being plastic, it would eventually droop. But I don't want it to do that, so I'm just going to get hot enough that then I can take my heat gun, or my plastic welder, styrofoam cutter, whatever you want to call it, and then once it's hot enough, I'll lay this over here just like this, and I'll take this machine, and I'll just slowly melt it and work it in. Work each pass in. It's not very fast, and probably not very safe for your lungs and whatnot, but it seems to work. So this styrofoam welder here, I just hold a button and it turns on, and it don't take it very long to get hot. Heat gun, I'm gonna heat it up, turn it on hot, and then I'm gonna turn the heat all the way up. Basically like a big hair dryer. You could probably use a hair dryer if you didn't have a heat gun, but this heat gun gets a lot hotter. I'm just gonna heat the area up. I was gonna look earlier and I forgot. Let's see what they are now. I'll go ahead and order them, or you can order them, whatever.
We got the light in today. Fastest I've ever had Amazon delivered stuff. It was there this morning at 8 o'clock. 8:30, something like that. Now my parts that come in, no, they're gonna be 6 or 7 o'clock.
What now?
My parts that I order, they're gonna be a day late every time. The thing I really didn't need today, I could have waited a couple days. And they as soon as I placed the order.
I'll lay my plastic down here, and I'm just gonna slowly still apply heat, just kind of warm that plastic up while I'm warming up my welder. Harbor Freight sells plastic welders. I've had a few of them, but I just couldn't ever get them to last. So I got this one, and it seems to work pretty good. So once this gets good and hot, I'm gonna turn my heat gun back to cool, and then I'm gonna set it over here to my side. I'm gonna work this plastic in here. Both of them or just one? Huh?
I know the one's right. The 1619.
Well, folks, we got her patched. Just got done with this, and it's still warm. But this one's the first one I've done, I think, or this one. But basically, all look the same. It's like an ugly JB Weld mess, but that stuff sticks pretty dang good. You're not gonna take it off. These little plastic welding rods just come from Harbor Freight. Like I said earlier in the video, you can actually buy the welding kit from Harbor Freight, but whenever I was trying to fix my last sprayer I broke 2 or 3 of them, and I just never could get one to last. So anyway, this is fixed. Time to put her back together. Alright, you guys, she's in place. I've got this bolted back down. I've got to talk to my local rep. I got to get a couple fittings. Had a couple fittings that cracked and busted over the winter, or not over the winter, over the when I took it apart. These old fittings that don't take them long to get brittle and they break, so gotta get that and get a couple little fittings, and she'll be ready to, I think, to fill up with some water and go get the cap off the old one and this cap off this old one. Anyway, as soon as we get some parts, I'll be back. Went and had me a little supper at my parents' house. My wife's out of town again for work this week. She'll be back tomorrow, I think. But anyway, went and ate with them, spent some time with them. Got back, I just put some straps, which is what we had holding this on. Those little holes that I plastic welded up, that was where they're supposed to be bolted to a thing, like to a plate. But the bad part with that is if you're not careful pushing them in there, if you put too long of bolts, it'll crack that little housing. Or once you put a bolt in there, sometimes them little housings in there, it's like a little bubble inside the tank where the nut and the bolt goes up in. Sometimes they'll just crack on their own. And then if you have a bolt in there, sometimes it won't leak, but as soon as you try to take it off, that water and everything gets on that bolt and that nut rusts it up. Then when you turn that bolt, it spins the nut and everything inside there, makes a mess. So I just plastic welded them up and I just strap them down. So that way, no bolts. I hadn't never had any issues really with them, you know, with them straps coming loose or anything. So we're gonna try it and see if it works. It's a 25-gallon tank, which will last us a lot longer than that 15-gallon we had. So hopefully it'll work, and hopefully we can get to planting some wheat here in a couple days. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.